Hello, welcome to season 3, oh my god, of That's So Fashion. I'm Chris,
And I'm John.
and it is so good to be back in the new year with a new series, a new set of topics to chew your ear off about. Um, we're in season 3, can you believe? So we're thinking, let's mix it up a little bit. So this episode will have our usual wonderful conversation that
Yeah,
we usually have with our
our
beautiful versatile
our
hosts.
rapport.
Indeed. And then we've opened it up a little bit. So put a shout out today for some questions, and we will be getting to those a little bit later.
It's very exciting.
So exciting! It's nice to be able to connect with people.
Yeah, it's
Like
the broader community. It's
exactly, yeah,
trying to bring people into our conversation as opposed to just listening to our conversation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Although they are wonderful,
No,
but
of
I
course.
love to hear your thoughts and get your questions.
Hmm.
So with that in mind, as you hopefully know from last episode, we ended the year on a bit of a reflection moment and what worked, what didn't work, uh, and our mindsets going into this year. Um, so that's how we're starting. We're starting this year with season 3 strong, with a focused mind and a direction on what we want to achieve in 2026. So, John, tell me, I'm dying to know, what is your top priority for this year?
Well, I got to be honest with you, nothing. No, I'm just joking.
That's it. Wrap it all. Turn it off.
I was going to
Shut it
say
down.
I have no priority. I have no goals in life.
No.
I am done. No, I'm kidding.
Relatable content.
I'm kidding. No. Well, yeah, true. I've retired, and I will no longer be at these meetings.
I will be in a cottage in the middle of nowhere, not contactable. Thank you so much.
I mean, that sounds like my idea of a nightmare.
Yeah, no, that
But
would
I
be
can
all.
imagine that you would enjoy it.
Oh, it'd be wonderful. Open fire,
Mm.
bowl of yarn. Stop it.
Yeah, but you know how to knit. I don't.
No, that's true.
Although maybe you'll teach me. But anyway, actually, and I did want to speak to you about that, and we
Mhm.
will come back to things in a minute. But I have a couple of crochet projects that were given to me,
Mm-hmm.
gifts, like things
Excellent.
to make, which I've always wanted to be able to do, and I don't know how. So I thought maybe we could set some time aside, and you could teach me.
That's definitely.
Yeah.
I also know someone
Oh.
that would be perfect to help.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So maybe we can set that up
Well,
as a
yeah.
little side project, and then we can talk about it on here.
Future episode inbound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that would be something good. I saw it the other day, and I thought, oh, I've had this for a while now, and it's always been in my pile of things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And also gifts that I genuinely love. But because it's not my skill, I couldn't just leap on it and do it.
Yeah.
And then,
That's exciting.
things get in the way and whatever. Yeah. And I've always really liked crochet. And one of my aunts, who's in her 90s now, and her hands are arthritic and whatever.
Yeah.
Was always a big crocheter. Is that the term?
Yeah.
Anyway, like so much so that she made like gifts and clothes and throws and toys for like the whole town back in like sort of like the late 50s, 60s, 70s.
Good for her.
She was saying to me not that long ago that she was always told that the more you use your hands, the better you'll be off in the future,
Yeah.
so that you never end up with like arthritis
Mhm.
and various things, which of course is actually not the case.
Mm-hmm.
But things were different then. It was the 50s.
Yeah.
And so she can't do it anymore, which I think she's quite sad about. But like beautiful, like I have a blanket here actually that she did. I'll show it to you another time. Like it's in my bedroom. When I was born. So, she's just amazing. But so I've always really it's been in our family, and I've always really enjoyed it. And I could never pick up knitting. I really struggled with it. So I kind of just assumed crochet would be the same. But then I was given
completely different set
exactly
of skills, yeah.
And then I was gifted these amazing little things. One of them's really cute. It's like little cat's eye and little pots.
Oh,
I know.
adorable.
Yeah. And then I've got some beetle stuff that I
like a set.
Yeah, it's it's like 4. It's like a little succulents garden, but they're like this big. There's 4 of them.
That's adorable.
So it's like a little like terracotta pot, like a little smiley face, like cat's eye. I know.
That's too.
So that'll be fun for us to do.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So that'll be a little project. Sorry to hijack.
Welcome to That's So Crochet.
Yeah. No, but anyway, right. So well, as we said in December.
Yeah.
I started this year. I started last year, with a determination to work on a project, a brand, which we've talked about here before.
We have.
Of my own. And I was really hoping to have some working samples for everything, or at least a portion of what I want to make for September just gone.
Yeah.
Now that didn't happen, which is fine, but because other projects and things got in the way, I also wasn't interested at some point in the year. You know, sometimes you get unmotivated,
Yeah.
you need to work through that, and I really needed to, exactly. And I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Like, I would like to, you know, think that it's a different time and I had no choice, but I did, and I chose to have a bit of downtime. Fine. So anyway, point is, I'm not where I had planned to be, which wasn't a New Year goal from last year, more just a yearly goal of things that I wanted to accomplish so that I would be in a different place where I am right now, career-wise.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. So first and foremost, I have things that I got down on paper that I would like to take off the paper and start actually practically working on. So
Incredible.
bit of drafting, patterning, cleaning things up. I've got someone to do stuff with me, so I won't be doing my own grading, which I have no issue with. I don't feel it's a sense of, I don't know, a lack of something. I can't think of the word, because I'm not going to be doing all my own grading. I did learn that professionally, but I don't do it.
You're not denting your pride by not doing it.
No, exactly. And also, I don't need to do it because I was taught how to do it to know that I had my hands on that. Like, it's my brand, it's my design, it's my concept.
Well,
that's more than enough.
Well, the market for a successful brand is not doing everything yourself.
Oh my God. And the amount of people that don't realize that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's number one for me. There are some like personal things, like, you know, with like spending more time with family and more conversation with friends, and, you know, stuff with Lee, and, you know, figuring out maybe new living accommodation, like whatever it might be. Like, there's things like that, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, there's like little milestone moments.
Absolutely. And those will influence everything else.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. But I'm not putting them in the same sort of category. So it's getting my working patterns done, having my working samples made, being able to pass all that on to Sarah, who will grade or assist me. We'll do it together, but she will be taking the lead on it.
Yeah, that's great.
And just seeing where I can take that. If I can have samples done, again, say for September time, then at least I know I can start thinking about the next stages, which isn't, you know, full-fledged, this is available for sale and I've got a marketing campaign out there, but it does open the door to start talking about those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do I want that to look like? Am I doing something with models? Am I doing something that's just online? Is it just through social media? Is this just through word of mouth? Like, we've talked about all of this before. I need to actually start putting it into practice.
Yeah. I think that's a healthy way of doing it as well, because you're not trying to run before you can walk. It's like digestible time frames.
And to be honest with you, and again, I'm not putting myself down here in any way, but I'm where I am now for various reasons. I've come this far. It's taken this long to do this little project, this brand that we've talked about, this gender neutral thing, which I've wanted to do for a while. So I'm not now going to try to squeeze it into 3 months, which is completely unrealistic and impractical, because it's been this long. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to slow it down even further, because that is counterproductive.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to just say, okay, well, now I just got that done 3 months, like, because it has to be done.
Yeah, because who are you competing with? No one.
No one. And it's not benefiting anyone.
Exactly.
It's not benefiting future clients. It's not benefiting myself. And it's not benefiting the people who are around me, whether that be hired help or support.
Yeah.
In any way.
Exactly.
So I don't have no interest.
You're the captain of your own ship when it comes to your
project.
Well,
exactly.
You make decisions. You don't have to answer to anyone. You don't have to copy. Again, we've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
You don't have to copy the you know, quote unquote traditional format or timeline of doing things, because that's not.
Yeah, well, exactly. So that's sort of the main one for me. And then also, as I say, there's some personal goals there. I've never really been one to have New Year's resolutions.
Same.
Because they don't really work for me. But I know there are things I want to do in life, and I just sort of try to get them done. And if I do, I'll be very proud of it. So some personal items, and then I already actually have a few private clients, which, you know, I do that work, lined up. I'm going to Canada next week. I think I told you. Yeah. I'll be there for 3 weeks.
Over your birthday?
Over my birthday, yes. First time in 22 years that I will be back home for my birthday. So that's very exciting.
Get ready, people.
Well, I won't be doing very much, but I will get to see some friends, which will
Nice.
be nice, and my parents, my brother, and his kids, which I'm looking forward to, and all that will be great.
Okay.
So that's a fun little side note. When I come back, we'll review and debrief and whatnot. But when I'm there, the main reason I'm going there is I have three private clients in the city, all of whom are expecting and wanting clothes
Oh,
for
lovely.
2026, which is great.
Busy year?
Yeah, it will be, which is nice. So I'll be there for just shy of 3 weeks. I will have some time to myself,
Yeah.
which is great. But the purpose of that trip is to see them and get that work,
Yeah.
carry on with that work. But all of them are in the initial stage where I've just got measurements. So it's, figuring out designs and, well, no, reviewing designs and
Yeah.
selecting a final, doing some fabric shopping, the majority of which will happen in Toronto, which is great. And, touch wood, I will be fitting a first muslin, like a
Yeah.
toile,
Yeah.
before I travel back to London, so that I can
Ooh.
do the majority of the work here, post it off. I've got one thing due in June, I've got two things due in September, and so on. So there's
Okay.
plenty of time for it. I'm not
I have a
rushing.
controversial question off the
Tell
back
me,
of that.
tell me.
For those eagle-eared listeners, you would have remembered that in December's episode, when we were reflective, one of the things that you said you felt didn't work as much last year was that you didn't prioritize your own goal enough. So here's my controversial question.
Yes.
And I can already feel it radiating from you. During everything you've just said, which is so exciting, I love that you've got a trip home and already we're like what, 2 January, whatever week it is.
Yeah.
You've got 3 clients lined up.
Yeah.
Love that, exciting. Of course you do. You're incredible at what you do. However,
Thank you.
are we going into it with the mindset you had in December of I'm going to make sure I prioritize myself alongside?
So we are, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, good.
First of all, these were all projects I accepted last year.
Perfect.
So they are
Okay.
part of 2025.
Okay.
They are not part of 2026, although
Excellent.
they will be happening in 2026. And I appreciate that might not seem...
That's a slight splitting hairs moment.
Yeah,
sure.
that might not make sense to
Yeah.
some people,
Yeah.
but if you're inside here,
No, I get it.
I'm tapping on my forehead. It makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's number one.
Okay.
But also, I'm not traveling back and forth from Toronto between now and June.
Yeah.
I'm going there next week.
Yeah.
Is it next week? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's end of next week. Yeah, right. That's right. So I will be going there specifically for this. It'll be an intense, I don't know, 17 days.
Get the foundations of the projects done.
Correct. When I come back, I will not be day in, day out working on these clothes.
Okay, good.
Because they don't need it, and I don't need that to be my schedule for the next X amount of time.
Okay.
That's impractical, it's draining, and to be honest with you, like I said earlier, it's counterproductive.
Yeah, shit. Burnout.
Exactly. I might, you could argue I could do my best work because I'm giving myself, 6 months to make one dress. I don't believe that. So that's not happening. So it'll be that intense 3 weeks or whatever it is. And then when I'm back, it'll be a question of mapping out, March, April, May, so that I can deliver item 1, which I already know needs to be delivered for June.
Yep.
And alongside of that, doing, I should say, what was my prioritized goal of my career, or my brand.
Priority number 1 for 2026.
Correct.
Yeah.
Alongside that as well. So if
Good.
one day is working on private client, then maybe 3 days are working on, priority, and then the rest of the time is the other things in life that I need to do.
Sounds healthy.
So that's what I would normally do anyway. If you recall, I had a customer who needed a ball gown not that long ago, which, if anyone needs ball gown, I make ball gowns. But anyway.
Very well.
And it was very beautiful. Thank you. And it was very beautiful, and I'm very proud of it. And she loved it. And I don't know if we talked about that. I don't remember, but it was really a wonderful experience. But anyway, that happened so fast. I think the whole thing was done in 6.5 weeks. I would normally never even pretend that that's possible. I think we did talk about this.
We did briefly, yeah.
If you recall, it needed to be simplified. We made it work. It was wonderful, and I'm very proud of it. But it was completely impractical, and I will not be doing that. So again, I've got so many months to do this work. I've got a delivery date for something in June. I've got September, and then I've got January 2027 to deliver as well.
Okay.
So we're talking.
So it leapfrogs quite nicely.
Yeah. So it's 6 months, then it's 9 months, and then it's 12 months away.
Yeah.
So this is a long period of time to fit everything else in, plus whatever might come my way. I'm assuming I don't know, but I think we'll be doing Sustainable Fashion Week again. I know we talked about doing things. I know Nicole and I have talked about doing things, and other people, like, so I've got to be able to fit that in. So I'm not
in a healthy, sustainable.
Oh yeah, no,
I continue to do it.
No, and I don't want that life. That's not. I don't want that.
No.
And I don't need that to be it. Like, I'm not a student. I'm not working at on a what do you call it? An internship.
Oh yeah.
I'm not like at a brand that is, taking advantage of the fact that I'm free labor. Like, this is my life. I'm making how I want it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and it might not always be the most intense, but I can plan it how I want it to be.
It doesn't have to be intense to be a fan.
No.
That's what I love. That's really reassuring to hear that you're.
Oh yeah, because you know me normally.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question, because I know what you're like. Once you get into something, you're like, no, my head's in it. I want it.
Yeah.
X, Y, Z.
And I love that, but also, do you know what? Sometimes working, I don't know, for 14 hours a day, hand sewing.
Yeah, I think that's counterproductive.
It's not helpful.
No, it's not helpful or healthy.
No, and I can't always help it.
Yeah.
But I do actively try to avoid that, because I don't feel that makes me better at my job. I know some people, the personality does.
Mm-hmm.
Think, if I'm not like sitting there and working for like 14 hours straight, what am I doing? I'm not that person.
But then it's that thing that people say is, like, sometimes when you do what you love, it can become a chore.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's avoiding that kind of schedule and timeline helps avoid what you love doing becoming a source of misery rather than joy.
Absolutely.
So that's very, very reassuring.
Yeah, so I'm trying, but that's where we're at. I'll be set to be all of you posted.
Well, we'll see how the evolution of the episodes go throughout the year.
Exactly. I hate what I'm doing.
I'm 2 months in. I've scrapped it all.
Yeah, I know. I've started all over again. But no, it's been good.
No, that's good. It's very, very exciting.
But now tell me, I know you're not one for New Year's resolutions either.
No.
So what's going
on? So again, off the back of the last episode, and kind of similar to what you've just said, is my top priority that I'm focusing on, making sure that that's where I put my energy, is growth of House of Windcraft. This is 100% the year I put things on for sale.
Good.
I want it to be out there. I want to spread the joy. I've put all this energy, all this love, all this passion into making things that are cool, unique, emotive.
Yeah.
That I've spoken about on this podcast 1,001 times. It's now time that people get to enjoy them as much as I can.
Okay.
So that's my top priority, and I've got a few things in the pipeline that's helping me do that.
Things that you want to speak about, or are we keeping them on?
Well, some things I can speak about. Others I will be classically vague and very cryptic, and you can watch that unfold on the podcast. For example, I mean, we've spoken about this before actually. Whereas one of them is Sustainable Fashion Week. It's probably going to be a case that we're going to do it again, so I want to be ready.
Yeah.
In a place where I'm not trying to do so many things alongside of my normal job that Sustainable Fashion Week becomes a rush.
Yeah.
I will not be doing that this year.
No, and I won't be either. As you say, we have spoke about that.
Yeah.
And I have plans. But anyway.
Same. Last year in March, I didn't manage to do my 2 photo shoots that I wanted to do. Obviously, yeah, Sustainable Fashion kind of classed as one, but just not as part of something, just for House of Windcraft. I only managed to do one, which was in last March. This year, I'm going to go back to 2. I will be having 2 photo shoots.
Oh, nice. Great. Wonderful.
That's non-negotiable for me.
Okay.
One at the beginning, like springtime, which is the beginning of like a House of Windcraft year, if you like.
Yes.
And one in autumn, like September-ish time, to kind of bookend the year quite nicely. Then it gives it's enough time, kind of similar to what you're just saying, it's enough time to do things justice and do things properly, but it's not so long that I've slowed it down beyond what's necessary.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
100%. I've got a few things off of the back of that's not off the back that's come from meeting people the Sustainable Fashion Week.
Nice.
I think I've spoken about him on the pod before, but Luca, shout out
Mm.
Luca. Hey,
We love
sorry,
Luca.
Monsieur.
Yeah, exactly.
I should speak in his mother tongue. We're working on a couple of projects together. That's very, very exciting. He's so talented in what he does, photography wise, and he is just a good egg. And as we know, I only align myself with people who are good people.
This is true.
That's why we got on so well.
Yeah, well,
Just to fan our own flames for a moment, if we may.
yes.
But we've got a few projects working on with him, but also there's a few things I'm determined to do just because it's me, not
Wonderful.
not like sustainable fashion, not
Yeah, of course.
just So obviously there'll be new collections, beginning of April, probably if I'm realistic. But the goal was end of March to release everything I've ever made for sale. So
what do you mean everything you want?
So any collection that we've spoken about, so the Looney Tunes.
Oh,
the
okay.
Wars,
For a second, I thought all that beautiful knitwear and all.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah, okay,
Like,
fine.
I was tempted to do the knitwear pieces as a for collectors.
Yes.
But I don't think I can part with them. I just love them so much. I don't think I can.
I mean, it's who you are.
Well, exactly. But also off the back of the knitwear, it's almost like you read my mind. Is
Naturally.
reinvigorate my knitwear.
Oh, wonderful!
Because it's been too long since I've got in front of that knitting machine and created something. And once I've got everything ready for sale, I'm ready for my new project. So my timeline is it's in place, it's locked in, it's
nice.
Get things ready for spring. Photo shoots, these two projects, which are actually also spring with Luca. Sustainable Fashion Week at the end of the year. That middle part of the year is what's it?
Yeah. Fantastic.
So
wonderful.
I've got it planned out to a T because I won't be, like we said last episode, I won't be making the same mistakes. I'd never make the same mistake twice. So very, very exciting. Priority number one.
Okay, great. Well, that sounds really excellent. It sounds like you are off to a good start of laying out a plan.
Yeah.
I know you've said like about having dedicated days have been called and not
today you're one.
Oh well, I know, and I appreciate that we're here doing this, but it is still career.
It
is. It's career oriented and it's job oriented, and I don't feel like you're just wasting the day.
No, absolutely not. I mean, before we got together, not to give away behind the scenes secrets, but before we got together to record.
It's as if this isn't a plus one.
Wow. What do you mean? I was. People forget there's a hell of a lot of admin involved.
Yeah, of course.
I was looking at this morning was very admin heavy for House of Things like looking at packaging and social media timelines and posting schedule and all that kind of stuff that you kind of got to think about. It's not just the fun sewing stuff. So no, it's I've stuck to it already. It's like the first Friday that the House of Things got paid of the year.
Yeah.
And I've stuck to it. It's
wonderful.
So it's already off to a good start.
Well, that's great.
That is how it shall continue.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that. I haven't, like yourself, I haven't tried to figure out a daily or weekly schedule or whatnot, but this day is dedicated to this and this day is dedicated to that. Excuse me, I've still been doing my other kind of jobs that I do that we don't really speak about on here. At least I don't know if we've spoke about on here, where I do. Oh, we have. So I do like those like photo shoots and film sets and things. So I've, been on a few already, which is great. So I don't know when those days are necessarily going to pop up. So this week, for example, it's nice to take a bit of a break to be here with you because all week I've been on a photo shoot and a film set. So, it's fashion related, but it's not career related in the sense that it has nothing to do with what I want to do. It's
because you're good at what you do. It's not. It's
right.
Aimed towards your specific goal.
Right. Exactly. So that if I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna, Monday through Thursday, I'm actually just gonna dedicate time to my current brand concept because I'm not ready to do the other work because I didn't met with the clients. I couldn't because I got offered this thing and it's just too good to pass up.
No, of course, yeah. I
So
mean,
it's
a good business person never turns down options.
no, exactly. And I like a routine like you. So I think for me, I can understand. I would prefer to know that on this day of each month or each week, whatever, that is, no questions asked. That's what I'm going to be doing. But then it doesn't always work out that way. So
No, fashion is never rigid anyway. So, but it's nice to have a framework to try and build upon.
Well, exactly. And
As we go through the months of the year, I'm sure things will ebb and flows and stuff of how the weeks will go.
well,
But
yeah.
it's the need for me, especially there needs to be that backbone,
Yes.
and it's working out so far.
Exactly. And you know what? Like you say, you meet people along the way, you pick up different projects with them, you work with each other, you figure out what works for yourself, you do your own thing, you do this, and you manage to do it all while still being in a corporate space. Like,
Honestly,
I don't know how you do
I question myself almost daily, like how.
It's very impressive.
Well, thank you very much. But then again, similar to what you were saying, I'm not going to berate myself because that's just the nature of sometimes you need part A to get part B.
Yeah.
It had the downside is that I've not been as further along, but then that's partly myself to blame as well as.
Well, that's what I'm saying about me too, right?
Yeah,
And sometimes it's just part of life, part of the job, and it's the nature of the work that you do.
Yeah.
And if you're not, because I know from experience, if you're not working in an office somewhere full time for a designer, whether it be as a designer, as a technician, or whatever, then other things get in the way. Like, you just can't help it. It's just
No, exactly.
and there's no sense in worrying about these things.
Yeah.
Now, on that note,
Yes.
how are we using our knowledge to help people? So is this question corner? Or
This is question corner. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we are in season 3. So why not, as a lovely round crisp number is number 3. We've decided to introduce, a lovely new feature.
You've introduced the new feature, which I have, lovingly called Question Corner, and you will interject your ideas into it.
I love what you've done there. Thank you for sewing those things together.
There you go. I see what you said.
So I put out a shout out on Instagram earlier for if anyone has any questions or anything they'd like to ask either John, myself, or both of us. And we've had a couple. And I mean, the time is getting on for the episode.
Yeah,
we got time for a couple.
Exactly.
But question number 1.
Yes.
Very cute. I want to start sewing. What is your advice on starting out? Do you want to open that one?
Well, I'll be brief because I can talk. And I will approach it as I feel like I've solidified my role in this conversation. So, as a very methodical, very technical, very obsessive, kind of more so compulsive person when it comes to the things that I do, I would say it's really important as you're a first-time sewer to be ambitious in that you can get better quite quickly, and you can practice make it perfect, but not to just think straight out of the box you're going to be making the most complicated whatever it is that you want to make, ball gown, like whatever, right? Because I don't believe that is realistic, and someone might say like, no, be more positive and whatever, but I think if it takes me back to where I was when I first started sewing with teachers, so not sewing with staples, which is what I did when I was 7, which is a whole other conversation for another day.
We need to revisit that.
Yeah, I think and I think this is pretty standard. I don't know, like we started sewing in a sewing class. It was make from scratch the pillowcase, make from scratch a t-shirt using the stretch machines, make it, if you have one, of course, make from scratch. And so it was starting out with some key things that are everyday things that are relatively simple in terms of their construction and also their patterns or their shape. That if you don't do perfectly on, is still functional, so that also you can be proud of what you've made. I think it would be for me at least, it would be difficult to put something together initially like that, learning how to sew, and it not looking right and therefore not being functional, because then I would feel bad about it. If you make yourself, like, I don't know, a simple t-shirt or a pillowcase and the seams are a little bit wavy or like pulling slightly off, like who cares? Like just use that. But use that to continue. But I think, starting out with an idea of something and approaching it at a basic level and a bit more of a technical level, so you can read the books if you need to, or Google something if you need to, and it's not some like random person's method, is probably not a bad place to start. And that's like
Okay.
the, crazy me version of that. And
Well, that's a very you answer is to, be methodical in the sense of start realistic, build yourself up, don't, run before you can walk.
well, and I think I do that maybe too much, sometimes to my own detriment. But I do think if you're starting out with something, like learn the basics, be optimistic and be ambitious, but don't think that you're going to do a 100 and you really can only do a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree with that mentality of don't expect to be churning out this incredible thing
Yeah.
if you've never sewn. If you're literally starting out from scratch and you've never sewn nothing, going in with it, or within a week, I'm going to be making a shirt or dress. Or let's be realistic, babe. Do you know what I mean? Like we've all started somewhere, thinking that we're going to be quicker than we are.
Yeah.
And you hit a bump in the road. It's not matched your expectations, so you stop.
Exactly.
My answer is going to be
very really,
but with a slight variation.
Of course.
So absolutely start small and realistic. And I would say learn the basics, but most people, especially if you're a creator, most people learn by doing, not by acquiring knowledge.
Correct.
So the only way to start is to start. It's to start somewhere. You don't need a fancy machine. You don't need, to know every single stitch going. No. You don't need to have fancy needles. You don't the best fabric. Get something you're not wearing anymore, or get some old scrappy fabric that you know you're probably going to get rid of or donate or whatever, and play around with it. Take stuff apart, understand how it's put together, and then try and recreate it. Sewing by hand is a skill, but it doesn't have to be neat. You don't have to make the best seams. My advice would be start small, but just start.
Yeah,
don't expect perfection. And that's coming from a perfectionist. I like things to be just so. But I'm also, to echo your point, I've solidified my point in this lovely dynamic between as the chaotic sewer.
Yes.
So
what of the two of us?
Of the two of us.
Yeah. You very much.
You will learn what works, what doesn't learn. What works and what doesn't work as you go. But you won't ever learn it if you don't start.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really strong answer, and I think that's a really good way of approaching things.
Yeah.
I can't help but think, oh yeah, I need to know all the skills and I need the technical for, but you don't. No. I do, because that's how I operate, but you really don't need any of that.
Well, that's how you operate now. But when you first started out, how did you start? You probably didn't start by, I know all of these techniques.
No, that's true. I guess that is learned behavior. It's a long time ago. I mean,
well, exactly. You have such a wealth of knowledge and skill set. But when you first start, like you said, you using staples at 7, that's you starting at 7 and working out how to do it.
That's a very good point. And I'm not discounting that either. Like, I love that. And I have photos of, my parents have taken photos of things that I made, and they were supportive, and so I do have those.
But you learned off the back of those staples.
Yeah.
That probably didn't work. So
No. And that's a very good point. I don't think of it like that so often because I'm so used to the last 20, plus 30 years of knowing air quotes here, but like the experienced right way of doing it.
Yeah.
So I forget about that sometimes. You're absolutely right about
Everyone starts something. I remember when I started out, oh my God. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. But I'm so glad I did. That's what led me to here today.
Exactly.
Time is a wonderful thing.
Right.
So second question. I think we've just got enough time for one more question.
Well, let's see where it takes us.
Oh.
That was true, because anything we don't answer today, we can always pick up later.
Exactly. In question corner. What has been the hardest thing you've learned?
Well, I spent first, so you go first.
Okay.
You set the tone.
I think the hardest thing I've learnt actually isn't necessarily a skill. It's my mindset.
Okay.
The hardest thing I've learnt is not to hold myself up to an unreasonable standard.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And well done, you.
Thank you. When I started out, kind of similar, like echoing what I've just said about how I start, you do kind of get yourself in this expectation because comparison is the thief of all joy, that famous saying, but also when you're starting out, you can't help it, right? You're constantly looking at X, Y, Z, going, oh, they've done this and they've done that. You don't see the work that goes behind it. So when you're starting out, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I want to be able to do that, and you go into it with such a, oh, I want to be great. Well, of course you do, but you're not going to be without time and practice.
Yeah.
So hardest thing I've learned is actually not to, when things go wrong, and they do often, is not to get annoyed or berate myself.
Well done. That's really excellent.
Because there's always another go around the block, right?
Yeah, well, that's not an easy place to get to.
No, it's not.
So good for you. Now think about where you'll be if you're already there now and working on that space in your mind. That's a mental thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's just imagine how great you'll be and where you'll be down the road. 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. That's great.
And I'll be running a lot.
Well, you already knew.
Quite right. Can't say. What about you? What's the hardest thing you've done? I know I just threw a curveball there with a mental thing, but
it's fine. It's fine. I was going to try and make some silly joke, but it might be insensitive, so I'm not going to. I will say that there are a lot of things that I'm still very much learning about myself that are, some days is more difficult than others, and, think you were better at this or worse at that, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So I think it's less of a creative sewing fashiony thing and more just of a personal thing. Is that I've always been so planned out and used to feeling like, knowing me or exactly what I need or where I should want to be or should be or whatever it is. And that all of those things, since they're not real, because they are in a way, but that they sort of don't matter. So I planned out first 10 years of living in London. I did every single thing almost to the day. And I'm very proud of all of that. But it's brought me into a great place. So I've got to not complain about my life. I love my life. But also, if I hadn't done that, I probably still would be where I am now. It probably would have just happened anyway.
You'd have had a more spontaneous route.
Right. And so I think it's less maybe about trying to learn and more about trying to unlearn.
Very good answer. Very good.
Okay, I like a routine. I am best on a routine, but I don't need to be.
So the hardest thing you've learned or that you're learning is how to have an element of how not to be so rigid in your expectation structure.
More or less. And that's not an easy thing.
That's not easy. No.
You're so used to it. I like to get up every day at the same time. So sometimes I purposefully don't do that. Or I like to do, I don't know. I'm trying to think of simple things to say here. Eat lunch every day at the same time. Eating the same thing every day because I don't tire of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't bore me.
Yeah.
But also maybe don't do that anymore. Now, these are simple examples. But
they're very good to highlight the methodology of it.
Yeah, exactly. I could go into more depth and more serious topic, but again, that's not what we're looking at. This is the therapy corner. It's question corner.
Exactly.
But you see what you get.
Yeah, no, I think that's very good answer, and also that's quite relatable because, again, as a creative, some things do need to be routined in order to progress.
Yeah.
But also you need an element of freedom in order to create.
Absolutely.
So navigating that fine line is difficult. So that's well done you.
Oh, well, thank you. It is, and like I say, it's not always easy, and I'm not saying that I'm the best at anything or the best at doing this or I'm going to be. It's not about that. It's just trying to understand myself more, and then as a result, being less rigid, trying to see things through a lens. God, I can see. Trying to see things through maybe somebody else's lens, and make that work for me, or at least understand life in a different way. I don't know. There's something.
But there's a lot of weight there because I feel, I know we joked about just now cementing in dynamics, but
Yeah.
I feel that works well with our dynamic
Yeah.
because we are so polar opposite with how we work.
Absolutely.
Seeing the other person's way,
Yeah.
you can't help but pick out, oh, actually, that's not bad, babe. Let me try that.
Definitely.
You know, and like, I know that I've definitely done that with you. Like,
Oh,
very
yeah.
inspirational. So, like, I'm like, oh, how would John do? Oh, he'd probably go X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And it's worked. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good.
It is a really nice thing to be able to do. And it's not that I've ever been dismissive of other ways of life or other people's ideas or I'd say seeing through somebody else's lens, because I'm not. But I also can acknowledge that, but then I know what I need to do or how I want to do it or how it's supposed to be done. And I get kind of locked into that space. So it's really trying to undo some of that. And I've been told by other people, you're very good at something, you're very good at painting, or you're very good at fashion, or whatever it is that I'm working on at the moment.
Yeah.
But maybe try and be less rigid, or maybe try and be less methodical, and maybe just try something different. And I think, well, I could do that, but I don't want to. So I'm trying to, again, not.
Yeah, but then the reason you don't want to is because there's a risk of imperfection.
Yeah, that makes my skin crawl.
Exactly. So, I know you.
Yeah.
I know where that mindset's coming from. So,
yeah.
But that's very good that you've recognised and you're making steps.
It's been,
but it is hard.
And it comes through meeting other people like yourself and helping people and talking to people about different things.
Yeah.
And thinking of reflection and, where am I in my life? And did I think I was going to be more successful? Or did I think I was going to be living here? Like, whatever it might be. And retracing steps and what if I did this differently? It's sliding doors. It's all that rolled into one. 100%. So it's been good for me, but it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. But successful he is.
This is true.
If we want to be successful, we've got to be uncomfortable.
Oh.
Now that's a quote. Take that to the bank. If we want to be successful, we've got to be uncomfortable. Yeah.
So who's singing that?
That's me singing that. But I think whoever wants to sing that in a really better way that's not clashy like I just said. Let's say Celine Dion. No, let's say Adele.
Okay, but then you're going to have to get the trademark and the copyright or the whatever on it now.
It's already done.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go.
Oh, wonderful. Trademark. Thank you very much. I said it already. I've originated it. No, that's excellent. Wonderful. I think we haven't got time for the other questions.
That's okay. We'll come back.
We'll come back to the next episode. Thank you so much for sending them in. Please keep doing so, and we will. I'm loving this already.
I know it's fun. It's cute. It's nice to get a little bit of insight into other people's mindset, whether it be about us or, as you said, questions like how do I start sewing, and we can go into more detail on some things, and other things don't really need it. Like it's
that's kind of the whole point of the pod, isn't it? It's like us talking about what we love, but helping others if we can along the way. So it's
exactly
very much that. The next couple of episodes are going to be very, very fun. We've got a few guests lined up for all the way until potentially April. Some confirmation. So look forward to that. We're going to keep this energy going. We're going to what's the phrase? We're going to manifest. That's not the phrase I wanted, but we're going to manifest this year, making sure our number one priority is the same at the end of the year.
You've got a vision board.
Vision board is out. It's on my wall. It's not on the wall, but maybe it should be. Absolutely, it's going to be a good year. I can feel that.
Okay, good. Well, I can't wait.
But well done, you.
And you. And welcome to 2026.
Welcome.
With That's No Fashion. This is the time.
This is the time if you're going to start out. Now's the time.
Exactly. And if you do have any other questions or you want like specific things or you've seen something that we've made and you want to know about whatever it might be, reach out. We're here for you.
Exactly. There's no topics that we won't discuss when it comes to fashion. So get involved. But until then, I think that's the episode. I think
that's me done.
That's me cooked. My goose is cooked. Thank you so much for listening on, and as always for staying with us throughout this journey of the pod that we've been doing. Can't believe we're on season 3.
Oh my god, I know.
Already, we've been doing this for what? This is the second year, 30.
Well, because we started talking about it in November 2023.
That's right.
And then we didn't. It was a few months until we did it. Was it May 2024? April 2024. Okay, so we're coming up on 2 years.
Gosh, where does that time go, eh?
I know.
But I've enjoyed every moment of it, and this year's going to be a corker. So stay tuned for more exciting times. But until then, look after yourself,
Exactly. Be safe.
be safe, and we'll see you. I'll see you in episode 2. Bye.